always gets worse before, right? Because this is a total test. Barks, growls, and warnings are warnings, right? Barking dogs don't bite unless you ignore the bark and go into their space, right? The only thing she's trying to bite is the bottom leg. When she comes up, she's not trying to bite. She's just growling. She's just trying to control the situation. Because she has been for her entire life since she's probably 6 months old, right? Because when she acts like that, people go the other way.
Yeah, I just never really push her just because I know.
Right, because you need to know exactly how.
Because before she'd stand right in the, because before I'd make her go in that bathroom, I'd make her go in there when she was bad.
Right.
So the last couple of times she's just, like the door's been open, she stood outside the door and kind of been coming towards me if I go to close the door. If I reach to close the door, like she'll almost come at me, so I use the golf club to try and pull it.
Yeah.
And she kept biting the golf club and chipped two of her teeth on it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to like put her in there anymore, so I just kind of leave her there. But then like it takes her a long time to cool down, so like if we have to leave the house or put her shoes on, we have to go around that way because you can't even come in here.
Because anything that, when they're in that state, anything that you put into their personal space,
they're
not going to have anything to do with it, right? And what she's doing is this. If she was an alpha, she'd go right through this chair.
Okay.
And there probably wouldn't be much for barking and growling. They don't give warnings.
Okay.
They just bite you. And they bite you good. She wants to do the nip, if anything. So this is all show.
Okay. And she always does this after she does something to him. It's like when she gets in trouble and then she's just like kind of fed up.
Right.
Because she's fed up with him, so she does something and then she gets in trouble, so she's just completely fed up is what it seems like.
Right. But what she's doing now is reacting to your energy of her being in trouble. Because you're frustrated or angry.
Yeah, but normally like, I just tell her to go and I don't put her in anywhere, and she still just comes in here and kind of claims it, and if you even come over, she thinks like she's in trouble. Like she just knows and goes into that mode.
And it was never finished properly with her in a calm, relaxed state.
Yeah, I've never pushed her like that.
So this thing is great for this.
That was perfect, yes.
It's great.
All
I'm doing is blocking. And every time she moves away, you move in that distance to block her
just
again.
a little further.
Right? And so
I'm really glad she did that while you're here.
So now I still got to get the leash, right? So now she just picked up a scent of the leash because there's a lot of dog smells on there. So that's good. And again, when I'm looking at her now, I'm blinking my eyes.
Calm once they're laying down like that. Just depends, I guess.
Not many are like this.
She gets that look in her eyes where she's just all kind of kooky. It's kind of scary.
Definitely no name or word for that. I know it. But she has to go through this, right? Yeah. Because the mind only has two ways to go, either more energy or less energy. If you're adding in energy using words or things like that, just be the source of the calm energy, her energy only has one way to go down.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? And you just have to be the patience and stay with it until that moment. And they just concentrate on her till I get the leash on.
100%.
right there, she went to lay right over on her side and relax, and she went from that to boom up and sat in. See, that mind is, I want to calm down, boom, I want to start to calm down, boom, it's back and forth,
Yeah,
back
like,
and forth, back and
that's,
forth.
yeah.
And it just keeps coming. I've seen this lots. Always the same.
Yeah, she's really like caring and affectionate dog with just these little things in her brain. It's just, and then she just sends her off like it's.
The small psychological differences between dogs and humans is enough to cause these massive issues in our relationships, because we look at dogs as humans, and right, they're dogs. And when you have a very dominant dog like her, alpha, beta, you have to speak their language, because a lot of what they see us doing, they take it as dominance and aggression in a situation where you shouldn't be, right? And really understanding this language and understanding why she's doing it, and that all I want is calmness, so therefore I just have to keep projecting the calmness.
Yeah.
Right? No fear. Because this challenge, and this is the thing, right? She sees herself as the mother of this house. So she sees it that it's her job to lead and protect the entire family in this house. And correct. That's her job. That's what she just did to her brother. I'm coming in now saying, I'm now the mother of this house. Well, she says, if you're going to be my mother, you have to have more inner strength, courage, confidence, and instinctual ability than I do. Because I'm obviously very capable of doing this job. So I got to test you to make sure that you are capable of doing the job.
Yeah, that's totally what she does to people too. She tests them. And if they are scared, she'll go even more like she capitalizes that on that kind of thing, big time.
That's right.
She always like tests everyone to see how they act, and if they're good, usually she's good. If they're not, then she knows, like she acts on that.
Now, the thing about with this type of behavior, it's not about learning how to correct the behavior when it happens. It's about not having the behavior happen in the first place. And once you guys, both of you, take over that position of the mother, and she trusts and respects you in that position, it doesn't happen anymore, right? But it's helping you get to that point, because just because she's good with me doesn't necessarily mean she's going to be good with you. Mm-hmm. Because she's good with you doesn't mean she's going to be good with them, right? Same type of thing. It's all about that individual that's right in front of me right now, and what that individual represents to me. Everybody got to go. Yeah, just unfold it one more time so it's a little bit bigger. Like I did with him a little earlier, I want to ask her to go over on her side and just relax. Stop looking at her. Rub your chest very gently.
Are you staring at it or
Staring. No, but and then as soon as she lays her head down, you stop looking at her. You rub the chest very gently in a circular motion. When I'm asking her to go over, I'm going to be more facing her. And then as soon as she lays down here, now you see the eyes are going to start to soften, just start to blink, the pupil's going to soften. So now I turn sideways to her. Because whenever you're giving corrections or commands, so again, see, it's just a touch. And there you go. And whenever you're giving corrections or commands, you face them, right? Because you're addressing them. But it's also a projection of dominance. Like if you're calling your dog and you're standing up facing the dog, calling your dog, and it doesn't come to you. About 80% of the time, if you just squat down, turn sideways, and hold out your hand, the dog will come to you. Because that's telling to come, and this is asking to come. So you see, you just touch the neck, block, head lays down, stop looking, rub the chest. And then once the eye starts to soften, you start to see the relaxation in the eyes. That's where you pet here. So this is a human being touching a dog. A dog never touches a dog like this. So they have no idea what it means. This they do. When you rub here, this has a calming effect on the dog. When you rub here, that's affection. So I'm associating the touch of the human with the touch of the mother. Okay? So I get the dog into the calm, relaxed state through the touch of the mother first, and then I associate that with the touch of the human. So you become the mother. If when you start to pet, the eye opens or they lift the leg, you stop petting, go back to the chest until the eye softens, and then the pet here. Now, this on its own of asking your dog to sit, lay down, roll over, relax is called a relaxation exercise. And you should be able to do that anywhere. In the middle of a dog park, vet clinic. When your dog will lay down on its side with its legs out like this and go to sleep, that's 100% trust and respect. Because they're vulnerable in this position because their belly is exposed. And they will not go to sleep unless they know there's somebody there protecting them. And that's why nervous, anxious dogs sleep on the side of the bum with the front paws on the ground, so they can get up quick, right? It takes a lot longer to get up from this state than the other state. So once they're able to go to sleep like this, and this is why once they start to relax, you keep petting until she falls asleep. And that's how you come to represent the calm, peaceful energy of sleep. It's all about energy. Now I'm going to get up, but I'm going to ask her to stay. So this is a hand signal for over. And now once she's down, you got to come up and over. You got to wait for the head to lay down. That took a lot out of her. I know, I wish you brought a blanket too. I don't want to move you. Just relax, baby. Sometimes these ones, they need to be taken to that limit. They need to see how far can I push you. I need to know I'm safe. But you gotta prove it to me, right? can't tell me. You gotta show it. So now, she may do something like that one more time, maybe to me, won't be as dramatic, and then she'll probably never do it again. But the leash walk is key for you guys. Because if you don't have that full trust and respect in the house, you don't have that full trust and respect on the leash, that's when it's important. Because this is the den, and this is for protection in the den. And in the leash walk, whenever you go for a walk with your dog, dogs just don't go for walks. They're either patrolling the territory or hunting. That's it. So that's what she's doing when she's out there with you. And if she's in front, and all it takes is for her head to be here just in front of you, that puts her in that lead position. And by not correcting it effectively and getting her behind you calmly, you're reaffirming in her mind she's in that mother position.
She's
Behind or next. Usually a little bit
sometimes
behind.
she falls quite a bit behind now.
Yeah.
And
She's really slow.
We
It seems like she's tired and almost not interested in going for a walk.
Okay.
Sometimes she's gone to the field with him.
Correction. And she did it perfectly. She did it good. It looks horrible. It looks like an attack.
And he's
that's
like
total-
screaming.
Yeah. But that's him going, okay, I
Yeah.
got it. You know, it's the same with a mom. She'll come and get that puppy and she'll floor it, and the puppy will yelp. Everybody thinks the mom bit the puppy, but she didn't. She just smelled the puppy. The yelp is, oh, okay. And not all puppies do it, right? So, like when two dogs get into a dog fight, everybody separates the dogs. But when they come back together, the last memory of each other is that fight. They're going to fight again. You have to end it like this. If it's two dogs, you get them both by the neck, you get them both on the ground right next to each other, rub those chests and stay there with them until both of them relax and those eyes soften, and then you just get up and walk away. They'll get up, look at each other, play again, or they might get up and ignore each other. But you're ending it like this. It's the same with two kids getting into an argument, right? Sit, relax, okay, what's going on? And you stay there until they both relax, and then you go, okay, go on, let's go play again. So her energy is a big thing. She's not a extremely high energy dog, which, you know, should high medium energy type of thing. But it's the energy that's the big thing, and it's her learning to calm your mind. I want your mind calm, even when you're running around playing. I still want you doing it with a calm mind. So by in the house, anytime her energy starts to go up, you block her, get in front of her till she sits, stare at her till she relaxes, and then you get rid of the affection. Same with him. You're teaching them to be calm. Outside is for high energy play, inside is for calm. And you're going, no, you're so vocal. She feels a lot better now in her mind. She needed to go through that. And now this is where the puppies always sleep with the mom, right? This is where the mama, you get down there and you snuggle. Right back. It's not bumping. That's why I'm holding the handle now, because that was her showing, okay, I understand what you're asking. By giving her the whole leash and showing respect back to her, that I acknowledge that you acknowledge what I'm saying.
I should just be able to use the tis and the finger to ask her to stay. This all this means is to stay here. See how she went? Right up, stop, sits, correct. Sits right in the center.
So by me having her sit and I have my back to the dog, again I'm saying I'm not worried about that dog. If I was, I'd be looking at it. So by ignoring it, no. Anytime you give the dog affection, anything in association here becomes the affection. So that dog comes to represent the affection because it's in the presence while she gets it. Just ignore everything, focus on me. Give you a hug. See how her pupil is kind of grayish, like opaque, not solid black? That's a relaxed pupil. As soon as she becomes the slightest bit alert to anything, the pupil will become solid black. And the more alert she is, the bigger